Dear Universal Studios, my name is Josh Thomas, I'm 25 years old, and I am a huge fan... Well, actually, it's really getting difficult to say that, but I guess I should say I was a huge fan of your theme park in Orlando, Florida. My first time visiting you guys was in the summer of 1994, so it was fairly close to when the park first opened. We visited Disneyland, and then the day after that, we went to Universal. But to me, there was no competition at all. Universal Studios was where the real magic took place. In one day, I survived a giant banana-scented ape that was not some weird gimmicky 3D image on a screen, but an actual mechanical life-sized King Kong that was destroying the city below me. I went back to the future and sped through time with Christopher Lloyd as we tried to stop Biff. Visited E.T.'s home planet, which was really trippy, and it felt amazing to be able to see something that wasn't even in the film. And of course, my personal highlight from visiting Universal Studios, being attacked by the star of one of the most influential and classic movies of all time, JAWS. But sadly, most of those groundbreaking attractions are nothing more than history and memories now. As of today, January 2nd, 2012, you've added the Amity section of your park to the always growing list of senseless destruction. I understand that Universal Studios wants to continue coming up with new ideas, and to keep people interested in seeing new attractions, but what I don't understand is why you feel the need to destroy in order to create. I mean, if you're ruining your own history and turning your back on what made the park, it kind of tarnishes anything new you may create. I understand that mechanical rides like Kongfrontation and JAWS cost a lot of money to operate, and they break down and they require more maintenance, but isn't that kind of the point of Universal Studios? I mean, people spend thousands of dollars to take their families on vacation to your park, so we all kind of expect to be wowed beyond belief. Impossible things are supposed to happen at Universal, so operational costs are no excuse to take something away from us. And if the reason for taking it down is that JAWS is an old movie and it's possibly no longer relevant to anyone, nothing could be further from the truth. For one thing, the ride originally opened like 20 years after the movie itself, so it was already kind of an old classic movie from day one of the ride opening. Same goes for most of your classic, now closed, attractions. Universal owns some of the biggest, most influential, groundbreaking movies of all time. They're always going to be relevant. People love reliving the old days and filling their lives with nostalgia. I gotta be honest, to see JAWS sent packing from Universal Studios for what seems to be yet another Harry Potter attraction is kind of nothing short of disgraceful and very poorly thought out. I know that the new Harry Potter attraction of your park has boosted sales, but I honestly feel like in a short period of time, those sales are going to start to plummet. It's new, so naturally it's going to gain attention. Remember how big Lord of the Rings was? Well, now people barely talk about it. If somebody doesn't care about Harry Potter, they likely won't care to visit your park now, as it contains such a painfully large amount of Harry Potter. In closing, please think about this. If someone were to walk into your park today, they would likely find more properties from other studios than your own. The Simpsons, Harry Potter, Shrek, Dr. Seuss, the list kind of goes on and on. Please, please regain some pride and some faith in your own creations, because frankly, the signal you're sending out right now is that you really don't care at all. But you know what, Universal executives, it's okay. It's really okay because everybody makes bad decisions. But they're only bad if you never correct them. So I'm gonna stay faithful that one day I'll be bringing my kids on a peaceful boat ride at Captain Jake's and desperately trying to escape the clutches of a giant Kong, but only after traveling back in time and then visiting one of the most lovable aliens in any damn film. So until you take all that money you make off of Harry Potter wands and robes, unfortunately, I'm not going to be visiting Universal Studios anymore. Closing the JAWS ride, to me, was kind of the equivalency of Disney closing the Haunted Mansion, or the Teacups, or saying they don't want to put the castle in the park anymore. It was one of the key reasons people love to go to Universal. The fact that you would close it is really shocking to me, and it's really disappointing. I know you claim that you've thought long and hard about this, but I disagree. I think if you really did think long and hard about this, you wouldn't have closed the ride. If it was giving you trouble, you could have just closed it for like a year and completely redesigned it, so that it would be more impressive and more cost-efficient to run. After all, if you've had your eyes open at all, it's very clear to see that the public's reaction to your demolishing yet another classic ride is less than favorable.